welcome back. This is another video. It is 3 p.m. in the day when I'm recording this, and therefore it is pitch black outside and I had to use an incredibly haphazard lighting setup, so please forgive me. I am not a professional. I'm not a professional video maker. This video is going to be about skincare, my personal skincare routine specifically. I feel as though skincare is the foundation of all good makeup, and you can't, I mean, no matter how much money you spend on makeup, you're never going to have a great finish, a flawless perfection on your face if you don't have an incredible skincare routine. And the thing is, right, even if you have really good skin, you think to yourself, I don't need a skincare routine, I'm fine. You do. You don't know you do until you're older. So you might be in your 30s with fabulous skin and be like, I'll just leave my makeup off on my face overnight, you know, for this whole week or whatever. But it'll catch up on you, and all of a sudden one day you'll go, oh holy shit, where's that skin that I loved in my youth? Where has it gone? So to prevent that, a lot of the skincare that I talk about actually is kind of preventative, because my skin is fine at the moment, in the sense that yes, it's aging, yes, I'm into my 30s now, and yes, it has its problems, but in general I look after it, therefore it's okay. And if it ever has a moment where it does that woohoo thing, I know how to fix it. So I think I'm going to start with cleansers. Now this video is going to be an incredibly long one because I have a lot of skincare, and I was actually, when I was taking all of the products that I use all the time off my bathroom shelves, I actually gave myself a fright because there was so many. So I'll start off with cleansers, and I'll talk about how I cleanse and what I use each of these for. I start off, if I'm wearing makeup, to take my makeup off my face, I use a micellar water. I'm using this Uriage one. I initially, to be honest, thought that all micellar waters were created equally. I was wrong, my friends. They are not. There are some that are better than others. There are some that leave a bit of a residue on your face. There are some that actually just don't work. The Bioderma one is another one that I rate. I really like this one, and I also really like the Avène one. There have been a couple of other ones, really popular ones actually, that I've been like, I could take or leave it. And who knew? I mean, micellar water, it's just water. But this one is actually really good. This is the one I'm using at the moment, as I said. So what I do is, if I have had makeup on, like I do today, I use a reusable cotton pad to take my makeup off with this. This will remove eye makeup, so it'll take off mascara, it'll take off lashes, it'll take off liner, all that kind of stuff, and you don't have to tear the eyes off yourself. Once my face is makeup free, obviously then I cleanse it, because this is not a cleanser. Get that into your head. Micellar water is not a cleanser. Absolutely, it's better than sleeping in your makeup if you take your makeup off with micellar water and then lash on an L moisturizer. That's better, that is preferable, that is better for you than to just leave off altogether and not do any skincare. But a double cleanse after makeup is, in my opinion, required. So once the makeup is off, my cleanser of choice at the moment is this Kate Somerville see, it's very nearly gone. Kate Somerville Exfoliate Cleanser Daily Foaming Wash. Now it's kind of creamy, it smells kind of nice, it's really exfoliating, but in a gentle way. There's no beads or anything in this, it's just a chemical exfoliator, it's not a mechanical exfoliator. So I really like this one at the moment, and I use this every evening. I'll be completely honest, okay? This might not be everyone's jam, but I don't always cleanse in the morning. I sometimes will, if I've done a really good routine the night before in terms of skincare, I will get up the next day. If my skin feels alright, if it feels hydrated and it feels healthy and it looks fine, I'll just put my makeup on or just go about my day. I don't always do a cleanse in the morning unless I feel like I really need an extra boost. Anyway, that's just me. I don't cleanse always in the morning, because sometimes too much skincare and too much just rubbing of your face can be too much, and your face doesn't need it, and your skin doesn't need it, and your skin doesn't need to be stripped of all the goodness that it builds up overnight. Now obviously it also builds up bacteria overnight at times, but generally, you know, unless you're having if you're having breakouts, obviously if I'm having a breakout, or if I'm having a spot, or if I'm having a kind of an issue like that, I will cleanse in the morning to make sure there's no build-up of bacteria or whatever, but generally I will just cleanse in the nighttime. In the winter, if I'm feeling that a foaming cleanser, sometimes foaming cleansers have basically got ingredients in them that can dry out your skin. So if you are prone to really dry skin, which I'm not, but if you are prone to dry skin, a foaming cleanser might not be the best option. Or if you use a foaming cleanser normally and in the winter you find yourself a little bit drier, a cream cleanser, creamy kind of milky base cleanser is the dream for swapping. So if you're normally on foam, or if you've got really dry skin and you want to have a little bit of a kinder cleanse routine, switch to something creamy. I particularly like this one. It's from a French brand called, this is a travel size one, obviously it's like dinky. It's a French brand that I love called Biologique Recherche. Biologique Recherche. Again, apologies to France. It's called Le VIP O2 and it is really, really, really great for, but it does actually a great job of makeup removal, but I use it as my second cleanse if my skin is feeling dry. So if I'm having a dry few days, I will use this to cleanse instead of my foam, and generally that brings my skin back around. It's really nice. This brand here, this is an oil cleanser. Now, some people who have oily skin are afraid of an oily cleanser. You shouldn't be. If you starve your skin of oil, like starve it of oil and don't ever go near it with any sort of oily products, it can kind of go, oh Jesus, and start overproducing oil. And that's, you know, that in turn makes your skin more oily. So occasionally if someone is having a very oily issue, a quick way to fix it is to use an oil cleanser or an oil-based product. This one is by a brand called, I'm just going to take a deep breath because, Elemental Herbology. Elemental Herbology. Luckily, the initials of that contract to form the word, because like seriously, Elemental Herbology, who named that? Not an Irish person. This, I like lots of different oil cleansers. I'm using this at the minute just because I got it as a press drop and it's lovely. But I also like the Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Botanical Cleansing Oil, and I like, yeah, there's a few different oils I like actually. I like the Kinvara oil for cleansing. There's a few nice cleansing oils out at the moment that I really quite like. Oil cleansers are spectacular for makeup removal. So if there's ever a day where you're like, I don't have time to do my micellar and to do another cleanse, I just want to do it all in one go, I'm in a rush, an oil cleanser is a great way to remove makeup and also give your face a bit of a cleanse at the same time. So, and I would always, with an oil cleanser, put it onto dry skin. Don't wet your face beforehand. Rub it around, really rub it in, make sure it gets into every corner of your face, rub over your eyelashes, all that kind of stuff. And then I would wet my hands a little bit and it kind of turns into a milk then. When you add water to the oil, it kind of milks it up. And then I would remove it with a lukewarm to warm, but not hot, face cloth. Or my favourite, Cleanse Off Mitt. I love the Cleanse Off mitts because, have I got one here? I think I do. Oh, I do, yeah. These little guys, Cleanse Off mitts. Jennifer Rock, the skin nerd, you might know her. She made these, and they're basically microfiber skincare mitts that you soak in lukewarm to warm water, but not hot water. Hot water is bad for your skin, and you can remove your makeup with them. And you put your hand in like so, and like take it all off. And it's great because it's microfiber. You see, I used to use just normal face cloths. Actually, face cloths, let's be honest, that I stole from hotels, and don't tell the guards. The face cloth, they're too thick to really rinse out everything, whereas these are microfiber, so you can stick this under the tap and rinse it pretty reliably and get rid of all the bad stuff and then use it again the next day. Now, I wouldn't recommend using it for 3 months at a go, but you can get a few cleanses out of it before you have to wash it. I have 3 of them and I rotate them. I love a balm cleanser. And actual fact, this cleanser I've been using since I was about 17. Very expensive taste in skincare as a teen, by all accounts. This one is the Eve Lom Creme Démaquillante. Welcome to France. France are going to welcome you with open arms. It's a cleanser. It's basically a melting balm cleanser. So it smells like joy. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It kind of reminds me of being a teenager as well, which is fantastic. And it's kind of grainy. You're not going to be able to see it, but it's kind of grainy. And I would like scoop out a bit, rub it between my palms, apply it to my face. The grains kind of melt away. the balm melts off your makeup really, really nicely, and then I remove it with the Cleanse Off mitt, and it just leaves the skin feeling silky soft and gorgeous. It is quite expensive. Eve Lom's products are expensive, but look how gorgeous. I had expensive taste but fabulous taste in skincare as a teenager. Another thing I would use for a bit of mechanical exfoliation if I wanted it is, excuse me, this Image Ormedic Balancing Gel Polisher. So there is a balancing gel cleanser that I occasionally use. It can be a little bit drying for me at times. It's great, but it can be a little bit drying. But the balancing gel polisher has actual grainy bits, so it gives you that kind of nice, you know, sometimes you just feel you need a scrub and a chemical, you know, even though you know in your mind, you're like, these chemicals are doing something. The papaya and pineapple and feckin' potato and whatever, they're exfoliating my skin. You need, sometimes your brain just wants the feel of a mechanical exfoliation. This one's good for that. Then, oh, another one that's good for that I have in tiny size at the moment, that I mean, it's a bit of a cult product, cult favorite if you want to call it that, Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant. This is one that you can add to your other cleansers, or you can use it independently. I use it independently, so again, my skincare routine is overly extensive, I think it's safe to say. But after I use my micellar water, then I might do an Elle Daily Microfoliant shake. I probably shake off, let me see, a cent size. A little pile, because you see it's in a pile. So you'll have to think of something 3D. A pea? No, I always go for peas. Like a mushy pea size of the Daily Microfoliant. I put that onto my hand, rub with a bit of water, and then put it on your face, and it gives a lovely microfoliant. Like it's a micro exfoliation that it gives you. It's lovely. And I wouldn't consider this my second cleanse. I would consider this my kind of occasional exfoliating step. It's called Daily Microfoliant though, so you can use it every day if you so wish. It's not harsh or stripping on the skin at all. This is the last one in the cleanser section. Is this the Skingredients Sally Cleanse? I would use this on days where I have a breakout, or if I'm feeling like I need a particular kind of a step up of chemical exfoliation. So my cleansing routine is, if I've got makeup on, I'll do micellar water. Sorry, I have tan hands. I'll do a micellar water with a reusable cotton pad. I'll take my makeup off with that. Then I'll go in with a creamy or foaming cleanser like my Kate Somerville, and that's normally my cleansing routine. And like I said, occasionally if I'm in the mood, I'll swap an oil in, or I'll swap in a salicylic if I'm having a breakout, if I'm having a woohoo moment. So that's kind of my cleansing. One of the skincare steps that I never miss, I never go without, is another, I'm going to say it again, Biologique Recherche product. It's an incredible French brand. This is probably the brand that I probably rate them the most but can't afford them, so I can only buy a few of the products. This is called P50 lotion, and it's essentially it's not a toner. I don't like to call it a toner because it's not a toner. It does act like a toner in the sense that it will fix your pH and that kind of thing, and it does act like a toner in the sense that you put it on in the step where you put a toner on, but it's so much more than that. It is just incredible for evening out your skin tone. It's kind of that very watery consistency. So yeah, you basically do a couple of drops of this onto a cotton pad or a reusable cotton pad, and pat it into your face. So you don't rub it in or wipe it on, you pat it into your face, and you start off with the places on your face that have the most pigmentation, or that have the most fine lines, or the places that have the most kind of congestion or whatever it is, and it just is a miracle worker. And it's a cult product, serious cult product. Like Victoria Beckham uses this. I mean, so many celebrities. You just see it being used by celebrities all the time, and it's brilliant because Biologique Recherche don't really brag about that. Like, they just kind of are very subtly the thing that all the famous people are using, including me. Although, who do I think I am? Celine Dion. I am not. Okay, so that's that step. That's kind of a whole segment by itself. I can't think of a comparable product. Like, you might be thinking like colic acids, or, you know, like a Pixie Glow tonic or something like that, but and while yes, they are in a similar category. They're not quite comparable in terms of quality, I don't think. Anyway, moving on. So serums, I'll get a few that I use and bring them down here. So I'll talk about, I have 4 serums here. I do genuinely swap between them all. So this is probably my favorite and my most reliable, if you like. It's the Vitamin C or Vital C serum from Image Skincare, and it smells like oranges, first of all, which I mean, I love. But it's brightening, it's just the most wonderful kind of all-rounder, if you like. And I think everyone should have vitamin C in their routine. So this would probably be the one that I go to the most. Another one I go to at nighttime only is the Sarah Chapman Skinesis Overnight Facial Oil. It really is a facial overnight. It's just, you wake up and your skin is just the best you've ever seen it. This is insanely expensive. This one was a press drop. I would buy it again in spite of the price. That says a lot. The next thing I've really liked, and this is actually empty and a little crusty, let's be honest, is the Dermalogica Phyto Nature Firming Serum. It's a kind of dual phase serum, so there's 2 halves in the bottle, and it comes out as 2 different parts and they kind of blend together. I really enjoyed this one actually. It's gone now, but I have really enjoyed it, and it's kind of aging focused, and it just fits. Quite oily actually, it does kind of feel oily, but feels really, really nice on the skin. It feels very natural, smells very natural. I wish this was smell-o-vision. I love hyaluronic acid, okay? So hyaluronic acid is something I use a lot. Hyaluronic acid basically hydrates your skin. It softens your skin. It just kind of makes it feel plump and healthy. And I go between 3 different ones. So the first one is, the reason my hands are orange, is the Pestle and Mortar Glow Drops. So this is actually a tanning product by Irish brand Pestle and Mortar, but it's packed full of hyaluronic acid basically. They do a really nice hyaluronic acid by itself, and it's full of that. And it also adds a bit of a glow to your face. I really, really like this one, and I've been adding it to my moisturizer lately. Another hyaluronic acid I really like is the Image one. Yeah, it's just, and like, to be honest, most hyaluronic acids are really good. You know, there's not much between them in terms of quality. I wouldn't recommend the ordinary hyaluronic acid in comparison to something like this, because what you get with a kind of more expensive hyaluronic acid is different weights of acid. So essentially, if you imagine your skin as having like a rake of different layers, the ordinary hyaluronic acid or cheaper ones might have an acid, a hyaluronic, that can penetrate the first 2 layers. The more expensive you go with hyaluronic, the more molecule weights there are in the product, so the more layers of the skin it can penetrate. So that's what the price differential is between something like the ordinary, which it's not a bad product, but it just doesn't have the same range of molecular weights that something a little bit more expensive might have. I also really love, and this is a cheap one actually, I love the polyglutamic acid by the Inkey List. A really, really affordable brand, and I'm actually a really big fan of a lot of their stuff. I like their oat cleansing balm, and they have a really, really nice caffeine eye cream actually, and I don't really believe in eye creams, but they have a really nice one. Yeah, but the polyglutamic acid, if ever you hear that word, essentially it's incredibly similar to hyaluronic acid, so feel free to use that as a hyaluronic acid if you like. If you like. I have next, I've just said I don't believe in eye cream, but I do have an eye cream to show you. It's the most expensive thing I think I've ever put on my face. It's Skin Caviar Eye Lift from La Prairie, and I think this bottle, which is not huge, is about €400. Like, that should be illegal. It should be illegal, but anyway, rich people are mad. This was obviously a press drop, and I am not one of those mad rich people. I am not, I promise. Yeah, this came to me in a press drop, and it is stunning, and it is divine, and it feels amazing to use. But at the same time, will I be paying €400 for it ever again? No. I'm going to very quickly just talk about 2 moisturizers, I guess. They're not really moisturizers, but they're not serums, they're cream, you know. Okay, so they are the Image Ormedic Balancing Biopeptide Cream, long name, and this one smells like oranges too. and it smells so good. And it's, yeah, biopeptides. So peptides are great. Add them to your skincare if you can in some way, shape or form. I actually do genuinely love this. It was reformulated recently and they changed the lid to have this mock wood finish. And I didn't care about the lid, but I cared about the reformulation because I was thinking, please Jesus don't change it, because I love it the way it is. And they didn't. So I won. And then also, if my skin needs a little bit of extra moisture, you would use this Avène Hydrance Aqua Gel. And it's real light and airy and feels really cooling on the skin and stuff. On that note, if anybody is considering buying a fridge for their skincare, think again. Donate your money to charity and think again, because your skincare does not need to be cooled. It does not need to be temperature controlled unless you are, getting skincare that's fresh from the lab and needs to be preserved. Please don't buy a fridge for your skincare. It is a swizz. It is a marketing swizz. So these two, if I use my soil cleanse, then I'll use my P50 lotion really quick. Then I'll put on either a hyaluronic or a vitamin C serum, something like that. And then I might, if I feel like I need it, use one of these two. And then there are some days where instead of serum or instead of hyaluronic acid, I'll just use one of these two. So it kind of varies. Next, I'll talk about my 3 favorite masks. I've only got 3 favorite masks. And to be honest, there's a lot of masks I've tried that I don't rate at all. And then there's a lot of, okay, don't kill me now, but I'm not a huge fan of sheet masks. I find them messy. I find them a bit pointless. And I haven't found one that's blown my mind. Now, I'm open-minded. I'm willing to find one that blows my mind. I want my mind to be blown, in fact. The first one is this Glam Glow one. So it's the Glam Glow, it's the purple one basically, that's what I'm going to tell you. The Gravity Mud Firming Treatment. For years, I've tried everything Glam Glow had to offer. I tried it, wasn't impressed. Tried another one, wasn't impressed. Then I tried this one. I honestly thought Glam Glow were having us all on. I really did. But then I tried this one and I loved it. So it's silver and you look like an alien when you put it on, which is kind of fun. Oh, you probably can't see that it's silver. Anyway, it smells divine. You paint it on, I painted on with a little foundation brush, this little cheapy one, which this is actually what I use for all my masks, and I would highly recommend applying your masks with a brush. So I apply this with a brush all over my face, avoiding the immediate eye area, obviously that goes without saying. You leave it to set for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long, and then, not however long, don't leave it on for 2 days and say that I said you could. So I leave it on for about 20 minutes. Usually it's around 20 minutes. And it kind of goes a bit, like this, like you feel like your face is a bit tight. It kind of dries tight. And then you peel it off. And when I say it's the most satisfying thing to peel off, it really is. And it genuinely firms your skin. It makes it feel plumper. It makes it feel nice and solid. It doesn't make your pores smaller because you cannot change the size of your own pores. That is genetic. But it makes your skin feel just tighter. It makes everything feel like it's just gone, I like it. My other favorite mask, this one is for a different, so I have a favorite for firming, which is that. I have a favorite for exfoliating and for like eating away all the dead stuff on your face. And then I have a favorite one for like hydrating and plumping and just making you feel lovely. This one is the one I use for the eating away. So, for instance, last night, I probably hadn't properly cleansed my skin for a couple of days. I'd just been faffing around. I hadn't been wearing makeup, hadn't really been paying much attention to my skincare. I'd been phoning it in basically, and my skin could tell. I had congestion everywhere. I had lumpy, bumpy bits. It just wasn't a good. It just wasn't good. So I painted on a layer of this. It started to tingle. It never stings, but it does tingle, and you can, I swear to Jesus, you can almost feel it eating away at the dead stuff that's on your skin. And you're like sitting there and you're like, yeah, eat my face. You'd have a decent meal off the shit that's gathered on my skin surface. And it did. And I woke up this morning, obviously you wash it off with a mitt with some lukewarm water, goes without saying. But it just leaves your skin so exposed, so smooth, so fresh, feeling just like all the crap is gone. So I love that. It's called, again, the Image Skincare Ageless Total Resurfacing Mask. I love it. Then this one is a hydrating mask, and I just, when you put it on and then you take it off, you're just like, bonjour. Because again, it is Biologique Recherche, and it is a French genius product called Masque Visolastine Plus. I don't know what the plus sign is for. Anyway, I paint this on, avoid contact with the eyes. You can leave this on, actually, let me see, does it say? You can leave a thin layer in 20 minutes. Okay, I obviously break the rules here as well. It does say apply a thin layer. A thin layer is all you need. This is expensive. You don't need to, you know, put too much on. It won't help any more than a thin layer would. So put on a thin layer of this, and it says 15 to 20 minutes. I leave it on for longer, and then you wipe off the excess. So I don't wash my face again, but I just tissue off what's left. And then I do actually give a little rinse after. I myself do, because you see, I don't like this idea of like an overnight, I don't mind an overnight serum or oil. I don't like the idea of an overnight mask, because I feel like half it ends up on your pillow, and that's not good for anyone. So I do give a bit of a rinse after this. Actually, I tissue it off, then give my face a little rinse, and then put on maybe a hyaluronic or something like that, just to replump. I have a couple of other, so those are most of the products that I use. I have a couple of other things I want to talk about that are accoutrements, shall we say, to my skincare routine. So this contraption is a facial massager. This is actually incredibly painful. It's a facial massager from Sarah Chapman, who is the person who makes Skinesis skincare. And this facial roller is, yeah, it's painful. It's not fun, but it is so effective. Oh my god, is it effective. So you put it front facing, and then you run it along your jawline, and then you run it along your cheeks, and you can run it along your forehead, and then you kind of, this end is kind of a flapper, so you like slap your face with it. And you do feel like an absolute maniac when you're using these things, but they work. And this in particular is the best facial massager I've ever tried. Again, this is a press thing. I think it's maybe about 40 quid, something like that, which is not cheap, I will agree, for a face massager. Next up, and I've talked about this already actually, so I won't go on about it too much, is the spot treatment that I use. It's the Ultraceuticals Ultra Clear Spot Treatment, and I just put a tiny bit of this on if I have a spot coming up, if I feel one starting, if I've got one that's fully in situ, if I want one to look less red the next day. This is what I use, and I find it to be fantastic. We talk about our skincare routine, and we completely neglect to remember our body skin. Our body, like, the skin on our face is only one part of the equation. So the skin on my body at the moment is being treated to the Aveeno Daily Moisturising After Shower Mist, which nourishes normal to dry skin. It says, it's clinically proven to seal in moisture for up to 48 hours post-shower, helps to reinforce the skin's natural barrier, and it's suitable for sensitive skin, and it's unscented. I like unscented body products because sometimes they can just be too like, here you're in a field full of lavender, and I'm like, get me out of the field, I want to go to bed, and I don't want to have to smell like a feckin' bottle of perfume. So as an aside, I would never buy this again. It's not very good. The thing I like about it is the fact that the nozzle will spray, whether it's upside down, sidewards, upwards, whatever way. It's not great though. It doesn't hydrate the skin, and in actual fact, there's a Vaseline version of this. I don't mean Vaseline, but there's a Vaseline branded body mist thing that I used before that is like a very, very similar product to this, and it's way better, and it was actually cheaper. This one I tried, I wasn't happy with, I won't be using it again. But don't forget about your body skin, people. These ears here are what I use to hold my hair back when I'm doing my skincare routine. So you don't want to get your hair involved. And then that's literally step one on my skincare routine. This, I just thought I'd give a little special shout out to. It's an orange, so again, it's orange. It's actually mandarin and mango. Delicious. I would eat this. I would eat this. Sometimes I'm tempted. It's a sugar scrub for your hands, feet and body. Now, I mostly use it on my hands and feet when I'm in between manicures or pedicures. It is divine. It's by, what brand is it? BCL? Like I don't even know this brand. I just smelled it once in a spa and I was like, what is that and can I buy it? I went into a hypnotic trance. It is incredible. Okay, so you think you are sitting at home watching this video going, my hands are soft, they're fine, they're grand, they're soft, it's fine. They're not. You do not know soft hands until you've scrubbed them with something like this. I thought my hands were soft. I look after my hands, I get manicures, I take care of them, I put hand cream on, you know? No, one wash of your hands with this kind of stuff, mother of sweet divine, so good. And like, oh my god, it's like dessert. Watch, I'll show you. Oh no, it didn't do the thing I wanted it to do, but it really, oh god, like it smells so nice. I would have that with ice cream and I'd be violently sick. Okay, last thing, very last thing. I've talked about this on Patreon before, so you probably will have read about it if you've been here a while. Revitalash. So that incredibly expensive lash growth serum that lots of people are using. I was reluctant. I didn't believe it. I was such a naysayer for so long, and then I decided, actually, don't be a naysayer. Try it out for yourself. I tried it out. 3 months later, I had the best eyelashes I've ever had in my life. They were long, they were thicker, they were just stronger, they looked better, they were more conditioned. Now look, you don't really notice the condition of your lashes until they're really conditioned, and then you go, ah, this is what conditioned lashes look like. And it's 80 quid for this tiny little bottle. You feel like you're being robbed blind, but in actual fact it really works. So there you go. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. That was my full skincare routine. It seems extensive, I know. It took me a solid 30 minutes to talk about it. Obviously I don't use all that every day. My skin just couldn't take it. No one's skin could take that. But that is generally my routine at the moment. So those are kind of the key products: the vitamin C, the hyaluronic, the P50. Those are my holy grails, my go-tos, and my cleansing routine is, you know, it's always the same. It's always a micellar water for makeup, or else an oil cleanser, followed up by something kind of foamy and exfoliating to get rid of all the dead skin cells. And then actually the one thing that I haven't got here, I wonder why I haven't got it here. Anyway, I don't have it here, but retinol, vitamin A. I have a ton of vitamin A products that I use. I use them occasionally. Retinol is not something I use every single night, nor should you, because it is incredibly active and it also leaves your skin susceptible to sunburn. So if you are using retinol, it's fantastic. It really, really works as an anti-aging, you know, kind of just all-rounder. It's really great. But make sure that the days after, you use an SPF. And on that, I haven't included my SPFs because in a way, I consider my SPF step the first step in my cosmetics routine rather than the last step in my skincare. That's probably controversial. That's probably something that skincare experts would hate me for, but that is the truth. That's not to say I don't use SPF, because I do every single day, and it's incredibly important in the battle against skin aging. But I see it as my first step in cosmetics because I feel like the SPF that I use hinges so much on how it reacts with my foundation. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you took some nuggets of information from that. If you've got any skincare questions, I'm on Instagram at Ashley M. Keenan, so you can find me there and ask me, or you can comment, or you can message me privately on Patreon or whatever. And in the meantime, there's loads of back catalogue beauty stuff if you're new to Patreon, which some of you guys are. There's loads of back catalogues of written beauty pieces and a couple of videos as well if you want to go back and have a look. And if not, thank you for supporting me. It's a very difficult time for everyone, and I hope everyone is prepping for Christmas, the weird Christmas that we're going to have. But yeah, thank you for your support on Patreon, and I'll see you next time.